So we're picking up Michael Sears. He's going to, we're going to go straight to Carlson Gracie headquarters. Michael's receiving his black belt today, so we wanted to come up and support him. We've all been friends and like boys since white belts, so we just wanted to make sure we came up to support him. You know, my boys have known him since they were really little. So yeah, we're excited to be a part of it. So we're grabbing him. She wants to move up.
We're out here picking up Hollywood Mike. About to get his black belt.
What are we doing here?
Picking up Michael Sears. You know, he used to sleep in Kobe's floor, and he always used to sleep on my top bunk whenever he'd stay with us.
Well, Mike came to me, I think, around 2012 when I opened a school down the street. And, you know, he came from Aurora. He was trained there in Jeff Neal and Brian Bishop. And then was after a while become opportunity, and he become a kids instructor, assistant instructor, and then he took over the program. He did a great job. You know, the kids all love him, the parents love him, and unfortunately he has to move to Texas, you know, for the job, and we understand people move on, but he led a good, you know, I would not say pressure, but a good, strong connection with the kids here, and plus with the adult group too. So, so now he's in Texas. You know, I think it's a time for him to get promoted. You know, I'm not saying he's not gonna get any better, but I would say it's about time. You know, if you don't eat the fruit when it's ripe, they become rotten. You're not gonna do anymore. So it's a momentum for him. He's doing a great job in Jiu-Jitsu. Now he's Hollywood Mike. So
Hollywood Mike. What do you think about Hollywood Mike?
I know he is a jabroni.
Good stuff.
So literally, you know, very happy to promote him. You know, I think he's doing a good impression on the out there. You know, is for the public. You know,
I think you've had a lot of influence on.
A lot of influence, yeah. You know, when he start working for them, they start with my article when I decide to compete. So I'm not saying I'm putting him there, but that's giving him a good opportunity.
He owes you half, I feel like.
Yeah. Mike, you owe me something, man.
Sam was the guy who, actually, when we met Michael Sears, Sam and Mike worked together. They were probably the most active, competitors from headquarters that were running around. So like I said, when we met them in Kentucky, and we always just stayed friends, and that's kind of how we got linked up with Michael Sears. And so Sam was the guy who kind of was Michael's big brother, so he can kind of tell you about that there.
Yeah, me and Mike lived together for about a year. Ran around, got a bunch of shenanigans. Trained like twice a day at the time. Mike was kind of hanging out doing Mike stuff. I was driving a truck, and me and him, because I worked from 3 to 11, and practice started at noon. So me and him would train at noon. Then he would go lift, and I would try and get a couple hours of sleep. And then we come back and we train again. And then there'd be days where we drill in between. And you want to talk about as much as I hated living in Chicago, you want to talk about times that were really cool in my life. That year me and Mike lived together because we got to do a lot of fun stuff together, and we traveled and competed, had a good time doing all that. It was probably one of the funnest years of my life. But I'm so excited, man. Whenever we were coming up, I was always kind of just meathead, super gritty, and then Mike would balance me out by being super technical. So, you know, if somebody who technically deserves his black belt, the technical merits way he does on the mat, it's 100% Mike. Super technical, super knowledgeable.
What do you think about Hollywood Mike?
I don't do as good a job on all the flow stuff as I should, but I'm a big fan of the shades. Next step is Pit Vipers.
What do you think about Michael doing jiu-jitsu?
Well, I think it's good. I think it turned him around. I think it relaxed him. I think he liked it a lot. I think it's really good for him.
When you say turned him around, you mean he was turned around?
Like he was a pain in the ass before, but now he's more relaxed.
He was a troubled young man?
There were days. We had our days.
He's a wild man?
Yep.
How many times do you think, when I was young, how many times do you think the cops came to the house because of me? Over 20?
No, probably about 15.
So what do you think about Hollywood Mike?
I think that's ridiculous.
Why is Hollywood Mike ridiculous?
Well, for one thing, I don't like.
Should be proud of me.
Well, I am proud of you. That's the whole. But I don't like the swearing. I think you can. You're a smart guy, and I think you can do a lot better with just using your education. And
What education?
Well, I mean,
Went to community college.
I know, but you say the F word all the time. I don't like that.
You did just say ass in the interview for the record.
Oh well, I don't say the F word.
So Michael got his black belt today.
Yay, Michael!
So like the percentage of people that get their black belts in jiu-jitsu, it's really, I don't know what it is now because people give them out a little easier now, but Michael got one today from Carlson Gracie. He went through all the belts with him at the headquarters from Carlson himself. It's a really big privilege, and it's a really big deal. I don't think people realize how huge of a deal it is to be. It's it's not like karate or so. Anyone who's not in the jiu-jitsu world usually doesn't understand what that kind of means. So,
Well, I think Carlson Gracie Jr. was a lifesaver for Michael too. I mean, he was really good to you, Michael. You went over to Brazil. He just kind of took him under his wing, and he was very good with him. He was very good. I like him a lot. I think he's a good guy.
so if I told you that Michael, Hollywood Mike, he's actually evolved and changed jiu-jitsu, the sport, forever just by working at Full. A lot of the things that he does. Did you know that?
I did not know
How
that.
do you feel about that?
Well, I am proud of that. That's pretty cool, Mike, that you're doing it. But do we have to do it with Hollywood Mike? Can't we just be Michael?
No going back now.
I think he would be. I like Michael better than Hollywood Mike, but I love them both.
Michael's took some big steps at the job. He's like, and he did it on his own. It's not like Flo. And not saying anything towards Flo, but he kind of came in and took charge and changed a lot of things for their company. And I think as just like a fan of jiu-jitsu and a practitioner, not as Michael's friend, but I think that he truly evolved a lot of things media-wise for jiu-jitsu and just the sport of jiu-jitsu, like the recognition, the shows that are being run. So he's in charge of these big shows, these Who's Number Ones, and a lot of these big events. He puts those together, almost by himself. So
Yeah, I believe that Michael's very organized. He's very good with math. He's very smart guy. So I can see where he would go and do a good job with all that.
Tell them about tracksuits. What age did I start wearing tracksuits at? I feel like I've been wearing them since I was like 12, huh?
Yeah, probably younger than that, probably.
I've been wearing tracksuits my whole damn life.
So
Yeah.
Michael made it. He's finally made it to where the company wants him to wear a tracksuit to work. That's his MO. They
That's
want,
the American dream.
and that is
They want him to wear tracksuits?
Yeah. They want me.
Tracksuits
My boss
so
wants
much.
me to wear tracksuits to work. It's the American dream. It gets no better than that.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Your boy made it.
Just because he can wear tracksuits?
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I just, I guess I just feel like as far as, he can go as far as he wants. The world is his oyster. That's true, because he can do it. And, you just got to have the right opportunities, too. You got to have those guys that say, wear your warm-up suits into the work and just give you a little leeway and not be too strict. Because, there's only so many people that can just keep following rules like that, Some people do better just being a little bit laid back.
Started training pretty late, like 28 years old. I did sports as a kid, and then I was just a bum, just working construction and drinking, watching Bulls games and shit, getting really unhealthy. And I started getting healthy, and I signed up, and the closest gym to me was a Carlson Gracie Gym in Aurora, Illinois. I started there. I started training there a little bit, and then when I went to Pans as a white belt, I met Carlson Jr. He ran the big one in Chicago. And I met him. We became cool. He probably just thought, okay, this guy's flying out here to Pans. He's taking it serious. So then I just started going down there to him, and then just trained with him from then on. Yeah, no, we just bonded really well. We got a similar sense of humor. He likes to call me Jabroni. One time we were driving in traffic, me and him, because I used to go and do all the seminars with him all over the Midwest, and we were driving and somebody cut him off or something. And I said, this fucking Jabroni. And he goes, Jabroni, what is this word? And I told him, and ever since then he's called me Jabroni. It's been my nickname. But, yeah, I don't know. We always just got along, I quit my regular job and everything just to work for him. and you know, I basically wasn't really making any money, but I was able to train all day, so I liked it, you know. So I was just with him all the time, going to seminars, going to competitions. I started teaching. I was teaching his kid. I was running the kids program. So yeah, he had me start teaching pretty early too. I got purple belt, I think. I was like actually running my own classes like on the schedule, so like not even just kids, adults and shit. So
It's funny that people have always wondered if you train or not. You know, they don't realize you've went from white to black, you know, with one of the oldest instructors that there is. And
yeah, these people just must not be too bright, right? Because it's like, first off, look at that ear. Doesn't get much worse than that. Got goddamn jiu-jitsu tattooed on my knuckles. And then it's like, I know all these people, you guys. How the fuck do they think I know all you guys? Like, they just can't put two and two together, these people, I guess. But yeah, it is sort of funny that some people think I don't train. I mean, I don't train that much anymore, but I'm 37. I'm doing old man stuff. I'm golfing. I'm swimming laps, taking walks, that type of shit. But yeah, it is pretty interesting that some people think I don't train. Why? What the hell would I be working for FloGrappling for?
so when I told him earlier when we had met and we had hooked up, I think the first place we met was in Kentucky at the Bluegrass Open. And then we just kind of became friends, and then always, you know, you'd had a match with Andrew at some point, and then I said, you know, we just had a friendship that kind of just grew from, because everybody always kind of wonders what the relationship between Michael and the Daisy Fresh guys are.
Like I said earlier, that I think outside of you and people in Mount Vernon, I was probably the first person on earth who knew who Andrew Wiltsey was. I don't even know if Bird was living in Mount Vernon yet at that point. I was, I met, well, back then it was like, the only IBJJF in the entire Midwest was the Chicago Open twice a year. So like, I competed a lot. I used to compete 5-6 weekends in a row, so I would just bounce around to anything in the Midwest, go to Ohio, go to Kentucky, go to Indiana, go to wherever. And that one in Kentucky, rest in peace, it was the Bluegrass Open, was the one where you could get paid for winning your division. So as a white belt, blue belt, purple belt, that was great. So I would always bring a crew of guys down there, like Sam that we saw earlier. And then you and Andrew would always be there. Andrew was the one always taking home the absolute money. But there would be some decent guys around at that tournament. But we met down there. And then I was just always bouncing around, flying, going to Atlanta, wherever. And you and Andrew were always at these things too. So yeah, we just, you know, back then it was like people from the Midwest or from the Illinois, Chicago, basically people that were at the Chicago Open. You'd be on the road, you'd see each other, and you'd just be boys with each other, Matt Lade and these other people, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think regardless of the team, you kind of become friends with people, you know what I mean, who are always there. You kind of, you know, because some of the coaches can't make it. I think you coach each other and yell for each other, you know, and sometimes you got to go against each other. But I think, you know, you kind of form your own little team. I don't think that team shit matters as much to everyone when the guys travel. But
yeah, also, I mean, we're not pussies, you know, so it's like a lot of these guys, they live in Illinois, they start dressing like they're fucking surfers and acting like they're Brazilian or some shit. Like, you wear a baseball hat, I wear Nike shit everywhere. Like, we keep it real. We're the same we were 20 years ago. So it's like, we're cut from the same cloth in that way too, right?
So when you started freelancing and doing like your photography, you did something that got really popular. It was the photography story. Like I said, you freelanced at the time. You hadn't worked for Flo yet. That was kind of seems like the thing that like kind of got you known in the photography and you know, like the industry or whatever. So to tell us about that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that I got my break as a photographer, right? Like, that used to be my shit. I had like a photography account with like 15,000 followers, but it was like I was taking some photography classes, and then Carlson Jr. told me, hey, I'll pay your ticket, come to Master Worlds, and come out there. And I was just out there shooting. That was the year that he competed out of nowhere, and he choked that guy unconscious. So then I gave Flo some pictures for free on the side, because I knew Hal from training at De La Rivas in Brazil. And so that was the first time I gave them anything, but it wasn't like I wasn't paid for anything. Then the first work I did for them was Hal. I was in Rio. Hal told me, hey, come meet me for lunch. He had this idea, so I want you to start doing these photo essays, you know, some side content for us, because it's like my photography. So my first idea of the photo essay was with you guys. I mean, it was easy. We were both in Illinois. So I was living in Chicago at the time. I didn't even have a car. And I got Arthur's asked to drive me down there, the guy who got his brown belt earlier, my old roommate. And if you don't know who Arthur's like Tommy Chong or some shit, right? Like, he's like out of like some sort of stoner movie. So he drove me down there. The only people living there were Andrew and Bird. We get down there. Andrew had a back problem. He was training with a weightlifting belt on because his back was all fucked up. And he just was training just for the thing. And we went down there, we took the photos. I mean, I was sleeping on the mats, like I was camping or whatever. It was freezing in there. It was the middle of winter. And it turned out really well. It got really positive reviews. One of my best things that people really liked, I did for Flo. And I mean, I lost money on the fucking thing. It was like I paid Arthur to drive me down there. On the way back, his tire, we're driving back to Chicago. We're in the middle of nowhere on like a Sunday afternoon. His tire pops, and I'm like, right away, I'm like, all right, I'll jump out, I'll change it. What's the deal? Where's the spare? He's like, oh, I don't got a spare. And I'm like, motherfucker, I paid you to drive me down here. You don't got a spare tire in here. So then we're stuck in the middle of nowhere. Like, you couldn't even see a farmhouse or anything. And eventually we find out somehow that we got a hold of somebody, and they're like, yeah, the only thing is like a Walmart that's an hour away. So we had to get a tow truck driver to drive us to a Walmart an hour away. We made it there 15 minutes before it was going to close. Otherwise, we would have had to stay an extra day. So I lost money. All my early stuff, all my early freelance stuff, I lost money. I just did it for fun, and it was getting my foot in the door with Flo, right? And it ended up working out in the long run. Oh, another thing, you ghost wrote that article. No, put that in, because I when they assigned me the photos, then Hal hits me up and he's like, oh, I want you to write an article to a company. And I'm like, God damn, like I haven't written anything I haven't typed something since I was in high school, right? So I got together with Heath, and Heath helped me write the article. It was just like 5 paragraphs or some shit.
Yeah. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
No, so after you did the Daisy Fresh photography thing, that kind of people saw that and they got more interested, and that's kind of what like spiraled Daisy Fresh, like the series thought, was to like come and film it and see how it goes, and it was only going to be 1 or 2, right? And then it just kind of blew up so much and everyone loved it. It turned into.
Well, where that came from was one of the big bosses at Flo, Ray Machuca, was a big fan of the photo essay. He loved it, right? So he kept saying, we got to do some video stuff about it. And then before I got hired at Flo, when I was still working freelance, we thought we were going to be making Daisy Fresh for YouTube or something maybe at first. I was down there shooting with you guys actually when I got hired. And we were down there shooting. I did a couple trips down there. I was taking the train from Chicago, taking the train with the Amish people and the convicts down there, getting off in the middle of nowhere. They just drop you off basically in a field about when you go to Mount Vernon. It's in a different city or whatever. But so I already had a bunch of stuff in the can. And then when I got there, they looked at it and they were like, all right, this is good, but like, let's get some more stuff and make it better. So then that girl, Simone, I had made one video with her about pulling me out for ADCC. And I was like, all right, she seems to be pretty easy to work with. Simone Khan, the girl who edits it all and shoots it with me. So then Ray greenlit it and was like, all right, let's go out there and do it. And then we were just like, we got great stuff there, but then we were like, I came up with the idea. I was like, all right, well, Nogi Worlds is coming. These guys are all doing Nogi Worlds. Let's go shoot this thing. So then we got the budget, and then I remember when we were working on it and like shooting it and editing, nobody understood shit. They were like, "What is this? Like, there's no big name people in there. Like, nobody knew who you guys were." They're like, "This better." Like, somebody literally told me one time, like, "You guys are spending so much time and money, and this it better do good. like something better come from this." But so we went to Nogi Worlds, and then we almost had a heart attack because everybody lost. Nobody made a podium, and we're just waiting on Andrew's ass, right? He was the last guy. Andrew goes out and he wins it, which that doesn't matter. Everybody doesn't got to win, right? It's better. I mean, I think something I think people like about it is real. It's not just people winning. Nobody just wants to watch Superman fucking win and everything, right? So Andrew goes out and wins it, and then he gets his black belt on the podium. I remember you're running over talking to the people to buy the belt. I'm holding up the girls saying, hold on, don't call him up yet. He gets his black belt on the podium. It all just worked out perfect. And then that was just supposed to be a 2-part series. That was basically supposed to be it. But it was just so wildly successful. They were like, all right, let's make some more stuff. And then opportunities just keep presenting themselves for more times to shoot. And the guys have become more comfortable with us as well. And I think the content we get in Mount Vernon is a little bit better now too, because they're a little bit more open with us.
Yeah, when we did episode 3 then or 4, one of them, the guys had 7 matches and they went 7-0, and then the next one they went 7-0, and it was like it just kept working out and kept getting better. And then
we needed that, right? Because then it was like it was a successful film, but it was like, okay, well, you guys are, my team is better than these guys. You're only making films with these guys because they're friends with Mike, right? Basically. So then it's like all of a sudden I got a bunch of messages from people after the fight to win one, because it's like, damn, these guys are actually pretty good. They went out and smoked everybody, and then all of a sudden now you guys win in Nogi Pans. It's undeniable. So it's like, it's crazy to think about where the team was at in episode 2, where it's like only Andrew makes the podium, literally one person from no team, to go into the Nogi Pans this last year, where it's like you guys are fighting in the finals, winning absolutes, winning the thing. Is like everything is just gotten crazy. Yeah,
it's the same guys too. You know what I mean? So it's funny how it grows, like how fast, and it shows you too sometimes, like the luck of the draw matters on stuff. You know what I mean? Like some days you got big days, some days you don't. So
yeah, it's the same good. You see their improvement. I mean, Marshall made the podium in Nogi Pans this year. Yeah, everybody's doing better. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy to see how they're all little celebrities now too, because yeah, when we were starting, like nobody on earth besides me and you and 10 other people knew who the fuck these guys were, right?
They just knew to watch out for the guy in the gray gi.
Vamos lá, né? All right, guys. So, good to see everybody. Thanks, hey Diogo, for coming. Fala alguma coisa pra eles aí.
Hi guys. I'm so happy to get invited from Junior to celebrate these 25 years for the Carlson Gracie headquarters in Chicago. You know, I be a part with him. You know, it's an honor for me. Since the beginning of the academy here in Chicago, the first academy in Chicago, he used to be in the World's Gym, you know, underground, you know, like the same than here. And he changed for like 2 or 3 times since there. But you know, we celebrate today like 25 years since Junior opened the first gym here in Chicago, in the United States, 1996, you know, so a long time ago. So it's an honor for me to be here and participate for this event, you know, see all the crew, you know, a lot of people here. I saw, start with me and Junior, white belt, you know, Jeff Vosevich is one of those, you know, it's very nice to see this guy around. Today he become a champion, tough black belt, you know. That's the payment for us, you know, see the progress for the students, help people develop good jiu-jitsu, you know, and jiu-jitsu definitely is a lifestyle, you know. So I hope you guys remain here for the rest of the life, you know, and keep yourself motivated to train jiu-jitsu, to learn more. Jiu-jitsu is eternal learning, you know. It never ends, you know. You become a black belt doesn't mean it's the end of the road. You still learn. Sometimes with a white belt beginning, you can pick some details, you can pick some new stuff for you, you know. It's always good, you know. Be on the mats, you know, be loyal to the Carlson Gracie team, you know. Stick around, commitment with the gym, you know what I'm saying? We need this. Everybody went to this crazy time about the COVID. Thank God it started getting a little better, but you still deserve attention, everybody, you know. Don't break your training because there, you know. Try don't kiss in the mouth, you know. But, you know, try to be on the mats and smell the fungus every day, you know. That's how your jiu-jitsu grows. All right, guys. Thanks so much, Junior, for inviting me for this special time, you know. I hope you guys enjoyed the class today, and congratulations already for who is gonna go into some degree today or who is gonna go for a new belt level today. Never ask for belt. Your instructor knows when you deserve a bit from the next one. All right? Stick your body on the mats and train hard. Okay? Thanks so much for being here. First one. Congratulations, my brother. This is great. That's my boy. It's an honor for me to be here and see this happy today. Congratulations, my brother.
I hope this fits. Hope this thing fits me. Getting a little fat. Hopefully it fits. Sam, don't hurt me.
I'm telling you what I want to do right now.
Okay, so you guys ready?
Not ready.
Rezão, você tem que derrubar a galera aí. Guys, the stripe guys are coming after they start throwing these guys, okay? Os...
You guys gonna try and kill me.
Oh, Mike, we're gonna fly, huh? Let's put it this way. Ooh. Os...
I gotta tie this better.
Too hard. Got 74 years old on my main street.
Am I gonna go over? You gonna over me or what?
Thanks, Tom. Dracula, how's it going? Appreciate it. This is the easy part. That's the easy part. It's been a while. Bruce, now we're getting in trouble. My old roommate right here.
That's what I said. There you go. Glad for it, Mike.
Oh man, here we go.
That's the easy part. Now they're
Glad we could be here for his black belt, man. Congratulations. It's been a long time. 10 years almost. Long road.
Andrew jumped the line.
Yeah,
You gonna throw people or no? He's not throwing anybody. You pick it up.
Alright, so need some space.
I gotta go down and back. Go down a little further. Ready? The line out. Good. I want to bring it up. My first game. Oh! Alright, I gotta get back. I know we got it. Kids hitting me. There it goes. It's ended with the worst one. Ah! There it goes. Ah!
First one or last one. Michael Sears, July 17th, 2021, Carlson Gracie Jr., black belt. That's a wrap.
Watch out, don't get hit by a car over there.